Alright, what's good with y'all boys and girls? Today I'm going to bring you my Dragonblade build. It's the one I'm going to use, it's the one I've settled on most this patch. We'll play other stuff, but you'll often see me running this because I put a lot of thought into it. Without further ado, it's going to be a long video, maybe. I don't know, I'll try to get through it fast, but I'll put timestamps so you can jump to the parts you want. First, let's get into the skills first because I want you to know what I'm subclassing. Storm Calling. Why Storm Calling? Well, it has a lot of mobility, defense, and damage all in one skill. It has weapon and spell damage buff that actually heals you. This is what leads us to go a lot of, it makes us go offensive on the build. We don't have like the purge in the rooms, the camp. We don't have a lot of defenses on this build. We're not really running a defensive skill line at all. So we got to rely on our mobility and our healing to keep us up. Speaking of mobility, there's none better than Ball of Lightning, or Streak if you prefer. Now, these are just normal passives that just like are very helpful in all situations. I mean, recoveries, the damage is going to help push us up a little bit, physical and shock. And this one's really good because they're not safe at high health. You know, you can hit them as hard as high health as you can, execute range. So I find this to be very good. And this passive helps us do a little damage. So it's mostly just all for damage, little recovery, which works out fine for a build like this. We're not really playing too defensively this patch. We want to output some damage, get the fights over with quickly. That's our plan. Moving along, Earthen Heart. Ignore corrosive for now. We'll go into detail when we go over the skills. But really, I'm mainly using this for the passives, which we'll get into in a minute. But Fossilize is a great CC nonetheless. Really like it. They have to break free and roll it, or sit there, pop wings. They have to waste resources in some sort, way, shape, or form. So it's really good. We don't need to run this actually to run any of these skills within this skill line, but in order, it's the easiest one for me, I say, to proc the passives. So why not? So this just extends the duration. That's neither here nor there. Battle Roar. This is one of the main reasons we're running the corrosive on here. Gives us we run very low sustain on this build, so every little bit helps. Like the sword passive comes in handy, but really you'll see me pop for resources more than damage on most things, and we'll get around to that in a minute. This is really good. Procs literally gives us ulti regen, gives us minor brutality off just using a Fossilize. Really, really good. So, but if you prefer, you can use any skill on this line. Just chose the one I wanted to use for my build. And this is really good. Once again, we're running low recovery, so every time we pop a Fossilize, we get some stam back. It costs Magicka, so we're not losing anything from that. And then combined with our sets, we have a decent amount of sustain. Last but not least, another damage skill line. In cap, you can definitely slot this. We'll get to that in a minute. Surprise attack. This is not a dizzy build, so I wanted to play surprise attack on this build. What can I say? It offers a lot of buffs. We were using the execute, but I don't feel like we even need it on this build. And try the true spec bow. So yeah, but mainly for the practice passives. We want the crit chance. You know, this is neither here nor there, but could definitely help out if you're bouncing back and forth with the amount of damage we have on this build. It's very possible to take advantage of this if you get a bunch of kills in succession. This helps us out with our sets, and this helps us out with the sets we're running. So basically, went all the damage. Let's go over skills. I know people like conceal, but this build is made in a very funky way, so I chose surprise attack. It's just as hard. You don't get the speed bonus, and it's apply sundered on hit. Very good. So our weapon is spell damage buff and gives us massive healing over time. So love it. Our hard CC, once again, you can set off balance and heavy attack if you want. It's not necessary, it's a flex spot, but it does proc brutality and everything else. I've gone back and forth between this shocking contingency. If you want to see the scripts, it's these ones. When it's a little more Zergy out, I use this. But actually, sometimes I don't like the micromanagement, so I will slot Camouflage Hunter here, as you can see in a lot of my clips. I really don't have a definitive answer on what's better. In theory, this is better, but you don't need it if you don't have access to scribing and spell crafting. So Camo Hunter works just well and get a little more upfront damage This gives you a little more burst damage when you line it up, and a little more defenses. And it gives you the major savagery on both bars, which is super important. Critical isn't really low, but having more helps on a build that thrives in crit damage, right? So yeah, either or works. So you'll see me run both. And Merciless, we are not running Execute on this build. This can be used as an Execute, but I rarely use it. Surprise Attack, Light Attack, Bash Weave with the procking of Sundered and the glyphs we have is a lot of pressure and outgoing damage. I don't even like use Spec Bowl unless I just run into tanky or good players, realistic, or I'm trying to get a quick kill or finish off. I just stack it and use the passive damage to buff this even more and just go crazy and keep pressure on them. Actually works out well. Now let's get to the ultimate. So yes, this does allow you to hit super hard. I mean, it just basically gives you full pin for quite some time. It's not necessarily on the build. I usually use it for if I run into tanks, or I use it for a extreme quick burst of resources and healing. That's really it, man. You can run in cap here. You can run DP. DP is crazy. Dawnbreaker. DP is something else. You can run Dawnbreaker, or you can run 2H alt. In cap is probably your best bet, honestly, with this build. It's damn near spammable. We just run Corrosive to get more use out of Dragonblade playstyle, things like that. And this burst of resources and damage mitigation is huge. Like, yes, it does give you damage, right? But in essence, it just allows you to go all out with just like spamming attacks on your front bar. Like if somebody's trying to bait you at low health or anything like this, I have a clip like somebody Dawnbreakers me, I immediately pop this and go offensive and finish them off. So check my videos, man. We have a lot of gameplay with this build. Alright, Temporal Guards, just our defensive skill for the back bar. You can actually put Corrosive back bar and run in cap front bar. I just have more of a 1vx play style and want to be a little tankier. Like I said, you don't need an ultimate or an execute on this build to secure kills. One contingency, and it's so many damage numbers pop up on the screen when you hit a light attack, surprise attack, bash weave with contingency, and then sunder procs, and then freaking shock glyph proc. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely disgusting. You can X to your heart's content with this quite easily. But yeah, sorry about that, man. That was the phone going off. I'm recording a video. I did not answer it, but yeah. I was trying to shut it off the whole time. But moving back to the back bar, Hurricane. This is our major resolve. Armor buff gives us speed at the same time, and it is a lot of pressure in a fight. We don't really have a lot of pressure tools outside of this, so it's really great to like keep pressure on them when we're not attacking. Even on our back bar, we're attacking their health. So our heal over time, bigger. Not much to say. We need a heal over time. Burst heal and spamming the one button is not it when you're trying to go offensive, but this combined with Surge can keep you up. Streak, Ball of Lightning, whatever you want to use for your mobility. Either or works, man. I'm not kidding, but I prefer Ball of Lightning. More, a little bit of defense for outnumbered. This is our source of major fracture. Yes, we don't have sub-assault and all of that, so we want to take a little bit more. It's free. You know, we want to take a little bit more of their armor. It's free. Cycles through status effects, so we can have a lot high uptime on counts as a dot too, so little extra pressure when we're going offensive. And our burst heal. This is Healing Soul. So my scripts are healing, Druid's Resurgence. It gives us recovery back, which essentially makes this cost a lot less and gives us free stam. Like holding block and spamming this is going to negate the block cost you get for holding block. So find that invaluable while Xing. I don't have the passives in for the staff to block with magic. I don't like doing that on anything but pure stam sort because of the way you can manage resources and the pools are so high. I use food and things like that, but on this I do not. So take the block passives out, which we'll explain later. And Major Vitality, which is going to affect all our healing, Surge, just everything we do. Bigger, it's great. So yeah. And the dots from these two can passively crit Surge, so you don't have to be super offensive. They just have to be standing your Hurricane, where you have your susceptibility, which you can apply to all the enemies you're fighting if you really wanted to, and it's free. So I mean, I don't know if that's efficient or not, but Yeah, you can do that. So now you may not have scribing for healing soul, and that sucks, man. It's probably the best option for this build. But one thing you can do, it's not going to be optimal, but you can run rally for your burst heal. I know, man, the choices are crazy, but you can put on rally from this skill line and move crit surge to like the back bar. And still, you'll have two sources of major brutality, but at least you'll have a burst heal going on there. You won't be sacrificing anything. You know, can't really think of any other options on this build. You could try no burst heal, but that sounds crazy in this meta. But you can get like more healing from this, so you could slot this and get major mending. That's the thing. A lot of people don't play with burst heals, to be honest. It is a play style, but I would just recommend scribing, getting it. It should be free base game soon, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay, that is it for the skills. Oh, one thing I did want to go over. Don't put this in, man. Your magic sustain is gonna, if you block a lot. If you don't block a lot and you just tap block and move around, you know, it's possible to put this in to help your stam sustain quite a lot. But we don't have a problem with, due to our sets, and then we get a burst back of stam from using this. It's completely fine in my opinion to leave the points out of trifocus. This is playstyle based though. Don't take my word as bond. It's actually good to do this on some builds, man. So keep that in mind. All right, last thing we got to go over with the skills is we are Breton. So this gives me the best. This is a very low recovery build, man. I'm not like, don't play this build and expect to be a recovery demon. You have to use everything. You have to pick up your essence drops. You have to do all of that. But this is unlimited sustain. Basically Magicka sustain. So, but we go OD magic sustain on this build. This passive is really good, by the way. You think about it in a meta like this, unless like you're getting hit by jabs or something, most of the hard hitting skills are going to hit you, like going to be concealed, spec bows, end caps, things like that, that are magic based damage. And like with Elisus everywhere, beetles everywhere, things like that, DK, status effects, all of that, you're always going to be able to take advantage of being under burning, chilled, or concussed effect, you know. So this is basically always up, and it's going to make you super tanky against the things that matter the most. So keep that in mind. But yeah, you could go Imperial if you just wanted a reduction to everything. But find the max mag, this effect, and a little bit of recovery goes a long way. We have plenty of stamina sustain due to essence and fossilize, which we'll get into shortly. Now, getting into the gear real quick. Tripods can never go wrong. It's our main pot. Stealth detect pots with the movable. Invis pots, because we are not vampire on this. You can be if you want. It's neither here nor there to me, in my opinion. I just don't really like vamp outside of stage 4 anymore. It's the only reason I would actually ever run vamp. And hero reason pots, we are a DK, and if you are using corrosive, it costs a lot, but these are quick to pop in like an outnumber situation, and combined with our sets, you know, you have corrosive ready for them. That is that. Let's get into the gear. So we're running essence on the front bar. If you don't know what it does, pause the video there. I chose a battle axe recently because I've been using corrosive more, but if not, I would go for a maul sharp. I'm using a sharp battle axe right now though. It's just I mean, we're stacking crit damage on this, so why not? Back bar rallying cry is our set. We have a defending with a weapon damage glyph. Our weapon damage is not that high, but we do get minor brutality from fossilize, rallying cry procs, and then we get delight attack from this glyph back here, and all of a sudden we're damn near touching 7k. So keep that in mind. You don't have a lot of base weapon damage, but if you stack it up before you go for your burst, you get a crap ton. Here's the dilemma. I run Bloodspawn because I'm usually running corrosive for tank busting. If you're not, run Bow. Why you don't want to run Bow with corrosive, it's self-explanatory. You don't need the pin from this, and even at max stacks of 500 weapon damage is probably not worth it over Blood Swan. You're basically only wearing this for the weapon damage aspect of it. Now, if you're not using corrosive like I recommended and you're using end cap or whatever the hell you want, Dawnbreaker, anything else, any other damage skill that's not corrosive, run Balrog. And alternatively, run whatever the hell you want as a monster set. This is just my build. I'm running Blood Spawn, the recovery helps. Corrosive is expensive, so this helps. And a little bit of armor helps when we stack it up. One trainee, show you what that does right there. Oh, we are running one reinforced and all in pin. And pin is too important this patch to even try to pass up. I'm crazy if you do. But some people like crazy. Yeah, we are in 2 heavy, 4 medium, and 1 light. Rallying Cry belt. Essence gloves. All triglyphs on the body, by the way. Best stat spread in my opinion. Alright, we are all in, well, we're 2 infused jewelry, 1 swift. I mean, I need a little bit of speed now that I'm Breton. I was Orc and Wood Elf and settled on Breton. You can go all infused, it depends on your play style, but I like to be fast. I like to be fast and mobile on this build. It's not a tank spec, right? So yeah, but all weapon damage glyphs on here. Stamina recovery version, variant, whatever you prefer. Last but not least, monomyth reforged. That's why we're building the crit damage, criticals. Why we picked Nightblade. Just too good, man. It gives us defenses, damage, everything we need on this specific build. Alternatively, you can run any other mythic you want. Seriously, man. This build hits hard with Death Dealers, Markin. Sea Serpent's Coil, it hits hard, but you'd be negating the whole purpose, like the Swift, the mobility, all the skills we went over earlier. Our mundus is the Atro. I'm OD on Magic Sustain. I feel like when you're under pressure, like, I have to pop a fucking 4K crit surge. You know, I gotta stun them with 4K here. This neither here nor there, but maybe I want to keep my contingency up like every burst, like off of the, not off of the major savagery cooldown, which is 12 seconds, but maybe I want to reduce the damage taken every 8 seconds, or maybe I just want to go hard with the burst and just reapply the shock damage over and over and over again from this. So it's really preference. Maybe I want to put in a bunch of freaking ball of lightnings and not wait on the cooldown. You know, maybe I have to press this more times than needed because I'm under severe pressure. I'm just going OD on my Magic Sustain. You don't have to. Something like Shadow will give you more damage. Something like Serpent will give you more stam sustain if you're not comfortable with this build. So keep that in mind. But I think between Fossilize, weaving a heavy every now and then, heavy surprise hurts anyway, and always picking up your essence rune, and you'll be completely fine. Some people can suffer with the stain on this. It's not that high, as you can see. The recoveries aren't, but as long as you're getting your runes and everything, you should be perfectly fine, right? Okay, let's get into CP. Get out your hair. Oh, anything on the character sheet I need to show? Yes. Got 44 into health, 20 into stamina. The health is not going to save you this patch. Stack resistances if you're going to stack anything. Like, I'm shredding people with 40, 50k health. I'm not even kidding. Yeah. No, the Atro, and we're running Smoke Bear Hunch as a food. Now, something I did want to mention really quick. You don't have to run this at all. Like, if you just want to put an execute here and slot it, you can. This is your flex spot. Also, this is your flex spot. Once again, these are 2 flex spots. Just because Surprise Attack does so much. It stuns, it does damage, like, does everything you need. But I would recommend some form of savagery. Because without any of that up, our crit is, like, very low right now. Now, you can put on Killer's Blade and end cap and hit 30%, but like I said, or you could just use critical pots and free up a bar space if you like. But I like playing my build like this. Just is what it is. Okay. Sorry I didn't edit out that phone call. We're nearing the end of the video. My bad. Just my bad, bro. I'll leave a disclaimer. Let's go over champion points real quick. Green Tree doesn't matter, but I'll show you real quick. War Mount, Gifted Rider. I don't even know if this applies to PvP. Don't care. All right. Right now, Celerity. I want to be mobility is king open world in my opinion. Now that's unless you're like standing with like Winter's Embrace or Restoring Light. For everyone else, mobility is king. Restoring Light and Winter's Embrace, you could just be like, nah, I'll do whatever the heck I want, thank you. Or depending on your sets, like, but more often than not, man, running Celerity. Survival Instincts, great, man. This is just a lot of extra sustain. Pain's Refuge, a lot of defense. Now, my last pick, Juggernaut, is a flex spot. I feel like when you're CC'd is the most time you're most likely to die. So keep that in mind. One sec, let me finish this recording of this video. So yeah, when you're CC'd, it's when you're most likely to die. And any other time you should be blocking and healing and be on your P's and Q's. So, but if you don't need to speed from Celerity, Sustain by Suffering and Fortify for more armor are both good choices. Last but not least, let's get into this blue CP tree. You're on the Ironclad and Duelist rebuff. We are a little bit squishy without the defensive skill line, so this is a more of a tanky CP setup. Focus Mending because our Vigor, and without anything to like pump, unless you're like front barring Vigor, our healing is pretty weak. Even when you put on the Major Vitality, like our Vigor around the keep is like, look out, like outside 0's 15. That's terrible. That's terrible, 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 terrible. But once you get in there, you buff up and you can get a decent one, and that's still pretty weak even with the CP in. So keep that in mind. The healing on this isn't that great. That's why we use mobility, line of sight, all of that in order to negate most of our damage and blocking like a maniac. That's why I have the Stam Sustain skills that, like Fossilize and Essence, that are not affecting our recovery, like our base recovery, which is pretty darn low, right? Okay. Anyways, and Fighting Finesse is both a damage and a defensive CP. It's our only damage CP, but since we're stacking critical damage, it's really all we need. We got the Axe, we got the Fighting Finesse. We're not a Khajiit, we're not going OD crazy with it. I mean, we have enough damage, but all in all, man, with Crit Surge up, a lot of people overlook the healing aspect of Fighting Finesse as well. We do not. We just want to heal and be strengthened. I almost forgot the traits on Sharp and Defending, just in case you missed it. Okay, go ahead and get out your hair. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Boy, ouchie. Peace.